Welcome back, viewers. You are still tuned into Prime Live. Now, there is a lot to celebrate this month, and that is Africa Day as well as Workers' Month. And joining us to celebrate in style and also to have an educational conversation with us today is none other than the beautiful, dynamic, and incredible Dr. Vumile Msweli, who is here today to discuss Africa's workforce, youth opportunities, as well as the future of work in Africa. Now, we will be celebrating, or rather commemorating, this very significant month and this very significant day as well. But we will be talking about so much in today's conversation, so do stay engaged, because Dr. Msweli is a thought leader and an expert in these areas, and she's here to provide us with valuable insight when it comes to the progress of Africa, when it comes to opportunities for young people, as well as the roles and initiatives that amazing platforms such as the Africa Career Summit actually have in terms of playing in and shaping in the continent's future. So join us in our conversation today. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Prime Live.
Thank you so much for having me.
I think this is such an important and valuable conversation. With youth unemployment being where it is, and we talk about a lack of opportunity for young people, I think this is the perfect time to have you in studio with us. But to kick off our conversation today, I want to start talking about the significance of the occasion for today, which is Africa Day. And can you talk to us more about today's workforce and how it can inspire young people to aspire to bigger and better things and more to realize their full potential?
I think specifically looking in the context of South Africa, often we think we're an island and then there's the rest of Africa. But when we look at days like the 25th of May, which is of course Africa Day, it gives us a moment to stop and reflect and say, where are we as a continent? It allows us to start looking at our potential, not just in the context of South Africa, but also geographically to the rest of the continent. If you're looking for job opportunities and you're looking in South Africa, sitting in Johannesburg, that's 14 million people. The moment you start saying, I'm going to look across the continent, you've got over 1 billion people. And of course, we know that by the year 2030, we're going to have more Africans in Africa than Indians in India or Chinese in China. So the opportunities are boundless. And I think as young people on the continent of Africa, we need to start at home. And by home, I mean, of course, the continent itself.
I love that you've shared that, and I think what you've said is so valuable and so important for young people to take into consideration. I think we need to start adjusting our mindset to transition from a South African mindset to a global mindset or an African mindset, to look for opportunities beyond our borders as well. And I think that's a wonderful sentiment that you shared there. But now what's also very important when it comes to work opportunities, of course, is the emerging trends in the workforce and to look at where the demand is. And I think we tend to look at jobs that are comfortable and we think we can manage, but I think we need to open up our perspectives to what is trending, what are the trends in the workforce. But can you talk to us more about how to exactly navigate that, and how can young people best put themselves forward, and how can we best prepare ourselves for these ever-changing workforce trends?
I think the first step is to identify where the gaps. So currently, even just in South Africa alone, we anticipate that by the year 2030, 300,000 new jobs in the green economy are going to emerge. But how many of us are actually investing in studying in the green economy? You know, I like to say in Africa we are obsessed with degrees, but not so obsessed with skills. And I think the world is no longer allowing that to happen. We're seeing trends with companies like Google no longer looking at, do you have a degree, but do you have a particular skill set that is actually going to be something we can leverage. We of course already seeing trends with the World Economic Forum recently said that by the year 2025, 50% of the world's economy and the world's labor force are going to be out of skills. The skills are simply going to be irrelevant. So I think identifying where the gaps, where the trends. One of my favorite things to do is go onto LinkedIn, search available jobs. Is there any job that you're seeing currently that actually matches your skill set? If not, you've got a gap. You've got an opportunity to close that gap so you are relevant and you are future-proofed for some of the trends that are coming our way.
That's a very interesting observation. And, you know, I look back at my career in school and I look back at university as well. And we live in a community and a society that's very academically driven. And if you don't have a formal academic education at a university, or you're not a doctor or a lawyer, you're kind of considered othered. And I love that you spoke about the lack of skills that we have. We're all differently abled and differently gifted. And our ability to obtain skills is what sets your CV apart from someone else. And I love that you emphasize that we're not upskilling ourselves. And I think there's definitely a lack of emphasis on skilled workforce. So we're not seeing many people pursuing, artisanal types of careers, or careers in plumbing and becoming an electrician or designers. We're not seeing a lot of those kind of people in the workforce. And yet, some of the people who are my age, who perhaps, went that technical route, are doing better than most accountants and lawyers are because of that need in the job market. So I think we need to kind of adjust our mindsets to fit this idea that academia is not always the way to go.
But I think it's very difficult to go tell an African mother that I've decided that I want to be a creative as opposed to I want to study accounting. I studied accounting. And what a lot of us don't realize is within the career space, you're going to pivot at least 13 times. So the job you did initially is not going to be the job you're going to end up with. So we need to start getting very, very comfortable in the agility of our ability to pivot and to upskill. And that upskill is actually the biggest challenge, is that it has to be driven by you. I'm yet to see a manager whose KPI says, let me ensure you get promoted. The onus is on you to invest in yourself, to upskill yourself, to get ready for a job that you don't even know yet.
Talk to us about, the Africa Career Summit and how this platform presents this wonderful opportunity for young people to come engage and learn more about what opportunities are available. Because like you said, the opportunities might be there, but we might not be upskilling ourselves to be able to fit criteria for getting there.
And that was my passion, right? So my background is I'm a career coach. And I was having lots of people come to me and have conversations, frustrated in their careers and wondering why they're not getting the promotion. Meanwhile, they weren't closing that skills gap. So the Africa Career Summit is the largest professional gathering of Africans across the continent. And what's interesting about it is we have what I like to call behind the curtain conversations. We kick off with a C-suite discussion with C-suite executives from everyone from the chief marketing of Telkom to the CEO of Vodacom, and we gather and we say, how did you make it here? What are the things that are not in the textbook, that are not in the MBA, that you did to make sure you could get to the C-suite and stay relevant? We then go on to have discussions with HR executives, people like the chief HR of Botswana from Botswana, to say, what are the trends? What's on ground? What are the skills gaps? What are you looking for when you're hiring now? So we can quickly see what that is. Then we automatically go into master classes with some of the basics, right? People like to say your network is your net worth. But how do you network effectively that you can actually get a return on investment on that particular networking relationship? So going into those practicals. Then we immediately go into speed networking. You've learned it, now let's practice it. And it's ready for me as a coach then saying, all of this is fantastic, but if you can't overcome some of the mental blocks you have, how are you going to thrive in your career? So we go into coaching circles and we start working on that as well. So it's very, very much a practical conversation. It's a very practical day that allows for master classes, it allows for coaching, speed networking, and allows you to get a perspective not only from a South African frame of reference, but from across the globe and from across the continent.
That sounds like a really inspiring platform and opportunity. And I think this is the kind of mentorship and the kind of skill and the kind of insight that we lack from, the stereotypical, or rather the standard education that we are provided. To get that knowledge and insight from people who have already made it is so, so valuable. But to close off our conversation today, before we let you go, how can our viewers at home keep in touch with you? Are you on any social media platforms? How do they get in touch with you to get their career in check? And if you have a closing message for any young professionals out there starting out, what would your advice be to them?
So definitely get in touch with me on social media. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even though I'm a little bit scared of Twitter.
Same.
We don't want to get cancelled.
Yes.
But you can reach out to me at Vumile Msweli, V for Victory, U, M for Mother, I for India, Mother SWELI, or even if you search for the Africa Career Summit, just send us a DM and we will get in touch, or you can go directly to our website at www.africacareersummit.org, and we'll be able to help facilitate you getting a ticket and you securing that spot where you invest in your career to make sure you're not left behind as the world changes.
Thank you so much for sharing those details and information, and also bringing to our attention this amazing platform and opportunity that is available for people to attend and invest in themselves, as you have said. But, you know, it's been a wonderful conversation and really insightful speaking to you. Thank you, Dr. Msweli, so much for your insight, your expertise, and sharing that with us and sharing this unique and wonderful opportunity with our viewers at home.
Thank you for having me.
Viewers at home, I hope you enjoyed today's conversation as much as I have. This is such an incredible opportunity, and I do hope you don't miss the African Career Summit. Please do reach out to Dr. Msweli on her social media platforms, or head over to the website to see how you can start investing in yourself and investing in your career. But also follow her on her social media platforms if you would like some career advice and you're ready to get your career kick-started. Remember, that kind of mentorship that a career coach is able to provide is very much the next step that might get you to that next career goal. But on that note, it is time for us to head over to a quick ad break, and we'll come right back.